Welcome back, True Seeker. Shout out to Jeff Young. As soon as this news broke about Jeff Beck, he notified me, and fittingly, Jeff Young is the former guitarist of Megadeth. He might even phone in during this stream. About a year back, he asked me to do a video on the death of Tommy Bolin in relation to Jeff Beck. But anyhow, going to talk about how no doubt Jeff Beck died from a murder ritual, not from illness like what's being reported. And again, in the world of rock and roll, there's a couple songs that clue us into what's really going on in these matters. One is by the band Slipknot, and the song is called Gematria, the Killing Name. Again, we'll use Gematria, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words, to prove what actually happened to Jeff Beck and how ritualistic this is, and how it pays tribute to his band, the Yardbirds, which also featured Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page. He's dead at 78, one day after Jimmy Page's birthday, who was just 78, before turning 79 yesterday, and he's dead exactly 78 days before Eric Clapton's upcoming birthday. And of course, that number is very important to the Jesuits, who control the world of media, entertainment, government. Again, Jeff Beck's part of the legendary rock scene out of the UK. What's above the Prime Minister's door at 10 Downing Street? None other than the Jesuit Order's logo stained in the glass like it's a Catholic church. Of course, the Jesuits serve the Catholic Church. All roads lead to Rome. But let's look at all the evidence here that Jeff Beck was murdered by the code. Again, Gematria, the Killing Name. Look up that song. Also look up the song by the British band The Police, Murder by Numbers, Sting, where killing's the sport of the elected. It's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3, which is a nod to Gematria. So for starters, Jeff Beck and Johnny Depp just put out an album called 18. 18. Last summer, Jeff Beck's dead exactly 180 days later, 180, on an 18 date numerology. We'll also talk about how Jeff Beck and the Yardbirds were formed 59 years ago. His death is 59 days after the Superior General's birthday, the leader of the Jesuits, and also while Johnny Depp is 59 years old. Talked a lot about Johnny Depp and his case with his ex that stole the nation's attention when she's from Dallas, like where JFK was assassinated in a huge Jesuit ritual whose name is also 59. But anyway, Jeff Beck, dead at 78 after the album 18 with Johnny Depp. If you're new here, the Jesuits, the military order of the Catholic Church, the sun cult that worships on Sunday, whose logo is the sun with the letters IHS, which stands for Isus Hominum Salvator. In Gematria, Isus Hominum Salvator equals 274, like the Jesuits and the Catholic Church have been worshiping the sun's birthday on 12/25 since 274 AD. But notice how in Gematria, IHS equals 18, forwards and backwards. If you're new here, Gematria is based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards, like how Aleister Crowley taught about it, who a lot of these British rock bands were really into. That's why the Beatles have Aleister Crowley on their Sgt. Pepper's album cover artwork. But IHS, 18, forwards and backwards like Jeff. Sun equals 18. In Jewish mysticism, the number 18 represents the meaning of life. As we'll get to, the word love equals 18 forwards and backwards. The Yardbirds' big song was For Your Love. But again, from the day the 18 album came out with Johnny Depp, July 15th, to the death. Actually, the news is breaking today 180 days later, but hold on, let me get this right. Typo in the screenshot. July 15, 2022, they're saying he died yesterday, January 10th, which was the date with 18 numerology. The span of days from the album to the death, 180 days. Total span. Today is 180 days later, the day the news breaks. And today's 111, rock star in Gematria equals 111. Jeff Beck, among the biggest rock stars there ever was. Okay, so again, dies a span of 180 days from the 18 album. Notice Jeff Beck was born Jeffrey Arnold Beck, June 24th. That's modern Freemasonry's birthday, which is a Jesuit creation. And we'll talk about the track list, the 13 tracks on the 18 album. But do notice that Jeff Beck's full name, Jeffrey Arnold Beck, is 172, like the Jesuit motto, Ad Merum de Gloriam, also 172. The Yardbirds' big song, For Your Love, 172. Again, the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry share the Ad Merum de Gloriam motto at the 32nd degree of the Scottish Rite, like there's the 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo, like Christ is 32. Anyhow, if you're new here, huge number with the Jesuits. I got all kinds of sloppy doing this too quick, but from Jeff Beck's birthday, June 24, 2022, to the day he died was a span of 201 days. 200 days after his birthday, or his 201st day of his age. Again, this is the premier number for the Jesuits. Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope. He's the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. Again, they just synced up the whole World Cup with Pope Francis, which we called in advance why Argentina would beat France. Pope Francis from Argentina, the Jesuits from France. Again, Messi, the star player, was staying separate from the team in room 201. Again, Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope, the first to live in Suite 201. His birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, equals 201, like Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, equals 201. Look into the Jesuit history. They were saved by Catherine the Great, who preserved the order with 201 Jesuit priests. Event 201, the coronavirus pandemic simulation, was called, again, Event 201 and put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab. Captain Tom in the UK, known for the Burma campaign, died exactly 201 days after being knighted by Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth died 201 days after her COVID diagnosis, so on and so forth. Whole lot of 201. And it all traces back to the Jesuits and, of course, the royal family. They got the fleur-de-lis, the Catholic symbol on their crowns. But notice, where the Jesuit order is 201, Jesuit is 78, right? And again, he's dead at age 78. He's dead 78 days before Eric Clapton's birthday. Again, Clapton, Beck, Jimmy Page, all in the Yardbirds. Huge rock stars. It's funny if I was doing this about some mediocre half-brain rapper, there'd probably be 5,000 people in this stream. It's like the generations that grew up on this, they're not on the tube. There's a disproportion of people on YouTube who care about hip-hop. But anyway, 78 days from Eric Clapton's birthday. And again, Jimmy Page just celebrated his birthday the day before he died. Again, Jeff Beck's dead January 10th. Jimmy Page, born January 9th, turned from 78 to 79 the day before, where Jesuit is 78, Society of Jesus is 79, Murder is 79. Again, the song Murder by Numbers. The film Murder by Numbers came out on Ignatius of Loyola's anniversary of becoming the Superior General of the Jesuits. Again, if you guys are new here, Gematria, there is a movie called Murder by Numbers. And notice how on the cover they code the 3-8 into the words, and around the words are the orange 7 and the orange 9. Murder has the gematria of 38 and 83, like what's coded in the words. The song Murder by Numbers came out in 83. The film stars Sandra Bullock, 83. The film released 38 weeks after her birthday. But again, you run it the other way, Murder is 79. Agatha Christie has the novel The ABC Murders, Killing by the Code of ABC 123, which also codes 79. So Jimmy Page, it's hard to say which one of them is the biggest star. Jimmy Page's band is easily the biggest band, Led Zeppelin, after they left the Yardbirds. But they're all huge names in the world of rock and roll. Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton. And again, the day he died, January 10th, 2023, date with 54 and 18 numerology. The Yardbirds' huge song, For Your Love. Love has the gematria 54 when you run the alphabetic order forwards and backwards. Also, when you use numerology, 18 forwards and backwards. Spelling, spells. The Yardbirds established in 63. Right now they're 59 years old. Later this year the band will turn 60 years old, but 59 years old. Again, the leader of the Jesuits. Here, understand this. Remember, we just had the huge Jesuit ritual with Pope Benedict dying on the last day of the year at 95 when the calendar's named after the Pope. And the Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses out of Germany. And then the German Pope dies at 95 in the time of the first Jesuit Pope. But Pope Francis, Gematria 59. Benedict stepped down on the 59th day of the year for Pope Francis, only to die at age 95. Again, the Jesuits, Germany, Martin Luther, the 95 Theses. Martin Luther King Jr. assassinated on the 95th day of 68, the last year of the Yardbirds. Anyway, Pope Francis, 59. Benedict steps down on the 59th day of the year. Remember, over here in the U.S., the 59th presidential election, I told you more than a year in advance why Biden would become number 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday. Catholic equals 46 in reverse, like the 46 books in the Catholic Old Testament, like the 145 more chapters, like JFK Catholic 35. Number 35 was JFK, the first Catholic president killed at age 46. Then Biden, the second Catholic president, number 46. Inaugurated on the Pope's 35th day of his age after being elected 46 weeks after his birthday. And again, I'm just making the point about how this whole world and the news and all the crap happening in it, from Theresa May and David Cameron and Boris Johnson and Liz Truss and the Indian guy they just brought in there. Again, all this stuff is synced up. The murder rituals, the rigged elections, it's all synced up with the Vatican. And just to prove the point, Johnny Depp is 59 years old right now. The Superior General's birthday is November 12th, the day leaving 49 days left in the year. Jeff Beck's dead on January 10th, meaning 59 days after his birthday. The Superior General serves Pope Francis. And to top it off, Pope alone's 25. So is Rock. So is London. And guess what? Jeff Beck's dead on the 25th day of the Pope's age. A year ago, in September, we had predicted why Georgia would beat Alabama in the championship, giving Alabama their 25th loss to Georgia on the Pope's 25th day of his age. How it was synced up with the Devil Went Down to Georgia singer, only for the Devil Went Down to Georgia singer to die. And here's another 25 word, devil. Not to mention the Georgia Guidestones came down 201 days after the Pope's birthday, like Jeff Beck's dead on the 201st day of his age. But also, with regards to Johnny Depp, it's 216 days after Johnny Depp's birthday. The product is 6 times 6 times 6. Like I said, Rockstar equals 111. Here, if you use the alphabetic order, Rockstar is 111. This news breaks on 111. In Sumerian gematria, which is multiplying that order times 6, Rockstar is 666. The product of 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Be careful, Jeff. That 216, February 16th is the 47th day of the year. Jeff's band, which is going to do very well, they do go on tour on the 47th day of the year, so be careful. But again, be careful who's giving you drinks. Anyway, it's also 149 days before Johnny Depp's upcoming birthday. Again, Jeff Beck's dead 216 days after his birthday, 149 days before his upcoming. Skull and Bones is 149. The big number with Skull and Bones is 322 out of Yale. Johnny Depp's full name, John Christopher Depp II, is 322. Yale's going to turn 322 years old this year. And again, Skull and Bones is modeled after how the Knights Templar buried their dead, and the Knights Templar served the Catholic Church and the Pope. Just a reminder that all roads lead to Rome. And keep in mind, 149, in light of it being 149 days before Depp's birthday, who's born in 63, the year JFK was killed in the big ritual, and then Amber Heard's from Dallas, and they got to do all this while he's 59, because, again, John F. Kennedy's also 59. Again, I know that was last year's story, but again, we were talking about how all the same stuff, why they do this with the numbers, it's all about the numbers, the age, the date, it's all ritual. Kabbalah, Masonic temples, etched on the wall, all is number. Slower minds can't keep up, but guess what? For slower minds out there, use the setting down in the corner, slow down how fast I'm talking, use the rewind button, get it all through your head, because I'm talking about the same stuff every single day. All the frauds of the world who occupy the screens and the minds of the masses, they won't touch this information, and the big Jesuit tech companies like Google, they got to censor me. Imagine had the whole world learned about this a decade ago when I started putting it out, when it was already undeniable. You know? This stuff might have stopped by now. Jeff Beck might have known not to hang out with whoever he hung out with. Might have put something in his drink. Anyway, look at the 18 album and what it's about. The first song, The Death and Resurrection Show. The Death and Resurrection Show. Sounds biblical. Stars. Again, remember, IHS and sun both equal 18. The sun, the closest star, stars, dying by the numbers over and over. The Sad Motherfucking Parade. I'm going to have to listen to this album. That's the thing we're living out. Time, rituals and time. So, Let It Be Me. I don't know if that's a tribute to John Lennon, who also went out by the code. But yeah, again, those are the big pieces. Again, where's the argument it's not the Jesuits? And just for the record, again, the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite share the same motto, Ad Merum Dei Gloriam. Scottish Rite 78, Jesuits 78. Big numbers. Big numbers with this gang. Lots of dead men in history and big Jesuit rituals gone at the same age in connection to the same numbers. And again, the Jesuit acronym IHS, 18 like Jeff. They're the Sun Cult, dead on the 18 date numerology after the album 18, 180 days after it comes out. And then again, on top of that, the biggest Jesuit number of all, 201, dead on his 201st day of his age. So, and for people who need to know who the Superior General is, Arturo Sosa. Arturo Sosa. Interestingly enough, the Superior General and the Pope are both from Latin America right now. But born November 12th, 1948. And again, from his last birthday to Jeff Beck's death, 59 days later. Again, the Yardbirds, 59 years old right now. Johnny Depp, 59. Like we talked about Pope Francis. Pope Francis' birthday is Saturnalia, December 17th. From his birthday, he just turned 86 too. Guitar's got that Gematria 86. Remember when the man who invented the tapping sound died on October 6th, 10/6, the day leaving 86 days left in the year of Van Halen. But the Pope's 86, and then a guitar whiz is dead, and on his 25th day of his age. So, from December 17th to Jeff Beck's death, 25th day of the age, like we said. Pope is 25, London is 25, Rock is 25, so is Death, so is Devil. Again, the Devil went down to Georgia. Singer got it after Georgia won the championship, again on his 25th day of his age, giving Alabama the 25th loss. This year, the championship was on the 24th day of his age, and TCU, the Christian school, stayed on 24 wins in bowl games. Go figure. All right. Shout out to Hess85. I do appreciate the super chat. What we really need in the world, though, man, I mean, after 10 years of presenting this, undeniably, is we need somebody, well, that's what I'm hoping for in this year, that somebody with a huge platform, no matter how bought out and paid off they are, that they'll realize that this is the year they got to help get out the word about the evil taking place. You know, the Joe Rogans, the Alex Joneses, the big Jesuit shills, before I'm talking about their obituary, they need to help get out this work. Save their souls. And yeah, it's never going to make the mainstream media, but maybe one of these social media YouTuber podcasters, maybe one day they'll help out. So all right, guys, we will leave it there for now. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. Here, I'll bring up one more thing that I covered earlier in the year. Again, Tommy Bolin was a up-and-coming rock star who was hanging around Jeff Beck, and he wound up dead supposedly from an overdose. And notice he died 163 days after Jeff Beck's birthday, back in '76. Again, he was another guitar whiz. Guitar's got that Gematria 76. I'm trying to think of that famous guitar riff. There was another famous guitarist who died young in '76 in a big ritual. His name's escaping me right now. But anyhow, Tommy Bolin was a guitar whiz who died prematurely and was hanging around Jeff Beck at the time. 163 days after Jeff Beck's birthday. That's the 38th prime number. Again, death 38, RIP 38, murder 38, killing 38. I'm sure if he was living at this day and age, they'd say he died from fentanyl 38, like Prince died from fentanyl by the numbers. Sadly, another death we called out before it happened. But, yeah, if you don't know about Tommy Bolin, you might want to go back and look into him. He opened Jeff Beck's show the day before he kicked the bucket. So that's the way it works in show business. Again, look up that, well, there's a lot of songs out there, but look up also the song by Cypress Hill, Rock Superstar. Read the lyrics carefully. Make a lot more sense when you become aware of this Gematria, the killing name. Shout out to Nathan. Nathan says, Jeff Beck dead at 78. The other artist that goes by Beck, his birthday is July 8th. He's a loser, baby. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see how old Beck is right now. Well, of course, I'm going to search Beck, and it's going to bring up, here, we'll search Beck loser. But I need the, what's Beck's actual name? All I know him is by his Beck. Here, hold on. Beck David Hansen. Kind of look like one of the Umbot people. Okay. Yep, 7/8/70. So he'll turn, man, it's crazy. He'll turn 53 this year. He's 52 right now. I don't know if they would sing it up with him. He's from a different generation, but here, just out of curiosity. God, that is weird. He died on Beck's 187th day of his age. Again, just talking about those Jesuits. Society of Jesus, 187. That's the formal title of the Jesuits. 187, 79, like how the day before he died, Jimmy Page turned 79. He's dead at 78, meaning he's dead in his 79th year of life. Yeah, interesting. He was born Beck David Campbell, changed the name to Beck David Hansen. Wonder why. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Nathan. Riggs must be named Nathan as well. Shout out to Riggs. All right, you guys, I do, like I said earlier, I had to get off and do something, and then as soon as I got off, Jeff Beck died, and I was like, okay, I got to cover Jeff Beck's death, man. But I do have a bunch of stuff to do before TFR tonight. TFR is less than 3 hours away, and I'm going to be cutting it close. Sarah Boom points out that they're saying he died from meningitis, which does equal 56, just like Society of Jesus. Interesting. All right, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. RIP to Jeff Beck. And thank you to everyone who helps get out the word. And for all of you guys who look at videos like this and think it's just a bunch of conspiracy theory nonsense, I want all of you to know that you're part of the problem. Your level of idiocy and ignorance and ineptness is the reason this shit keeps going on. I already know the comments are going to come in because it's clockwork every time I do a video like this that's totally undeniable, and then the morons fill up the comments. Well, it used to be worse back when I actually got views. I guess that's the one advantage of being shadow banned and buried at the bottom of the algorithm, so I'm the last thing that comes up when you search for Jeff Beck. But again, the morons would always fill in and be like, show some respect, not this conspiracy theory bullshit. Like, if that's you, you are a fucking retard. You really think it's a fucking coincidence that he's dead at 78 days before Eric Clapton's birthday, when we've been educating about the number for 5,000 fucking times in a video upload as somebody's dead? I mean, you got to be a special kind of fucking stupid, and that's the problem with this world. So, again, look at all this shit. How many times have I talked about 201? And again, I do realize I got to anyway, I'll fix the screenshots, but it's all the same. So, all the losers out there, pull your head out of your ass. Help be part of the solution instead of the continual part of the problem. Till next time.